Hey guys, so I wanted to inform you a little bit more about what the process of becoming a BCBA, where I am on my journey. Now, right now, I'm at the very beginning. I literally just decided on my major like a few months ago, and I decided I wanted to go down this path. My thoughts may not make cogent sense because it is nearing 1 o'clock at night. Anyway, I am graduating community college this semester. I was there for 4 years. I started out with a major in psychology. Well, actually, technically, I started out with a major in biology because I wanted to be a veterinarian. And then I realized, I wasn't really interested in biology anymore. Hadn't been for a while. And besides, being a veterinarian is not just working with animals, which is like all I saw. And I mean, I wanted to be a veterinarian since I was literally like four. Around age 12, I started getting more interested in psychology, and I had kind of been interested in that for a significantly long time. So I started out biology. I had actually been accepted. I won't say where I went to high school because that's too personal for me to reveal, especially considering it was a very small private high school. But I got accepted. Okay, well, moving back a bit. As you guys might have known, I struggled really, really severely with mental health issues at the end of high school. And I did not end up with a great GPA, but I still ended up getting into Occidental, which is a great school. They're more liberal arts focused, so not exactly what I was looking for. But still, they would probably give me the private attention that I need. And by the way, I wasn't diagnosed with autism at this time, so we didn't know that. I mean, it was becoming clear that I had some issues, but we didn't know that. And so I entered my local community college. I deferred from Occidental for a year because it was clear that I just would not be ready to live on my own at college. And also, there was the financial situation. My parents could not pay for Occidental College because private schools are fucking expensive. And um, so, I just went to community college, which is a big bargain. Seriously, like if you go to community college, you are saving so much money, especially if you're later going to a private school. You're saving so much money, and there's so many benefits of community college, which I already made a video on that. Maybe I'll kind of rehash that. But for example, you're allowed to explore in community college, and that's what I did. So my major started out as biology, pretty quickly went to psychology. For a while, I went down that road, but I started thinking I wanted to do a more science-based view of psychology, like more research. So I switched to cognitive science, which is very similar, but it's more interdisciplinary because I was getting interested in things like anthropology and artificial intelligence and all that. So going down the cognitive science route, which is basically the prereqs for that is just psychology plus a few math classes. And then I decided I wanted to double major in cognitive science and computer engineering. I wanted to major in computer engineering because I'm just really interested in making stuff. And I wanted to learn how to do that. And so I went down that route for a pretty good while until I got into contact with the Department of Rehabilitation. And for people who don't know, the Department of Rehabilitation is a state funded organization that helps anybody with a disability. And I'm talking about anybody. As long as you are medically diagnosed with a disability, it doesn't matter how mild or how severe, and you are having trouble getting work, they will help you. And they will fund a lot. And I've actually had a really great experience with them, which is surprising because you would think there's a lot of bureaucracy in a state funded organization, but they're actually really quick in getting to me, at least from my experience. And they basically told me, okay, the problem with DOR, however, is that you kind of have to make some sacrifices. And so they said you can't double major because we are here to make you a tax-paying citizen, right? Which I was not at the time. Even though I was employed, technically I was part-time employed, I still am. I'll talk about my experience as an RBT, and I do have some exciting news regarding my employment. Um, I'm going to be away, and by away, I mean I won't be making videos um, because I'll be on a really busy schedule. But I will be away at a special needs summer camp working as a counselor. And if you guys want to hear more about that, please let me know in the comments. Anyway, they told me you kind of have to choose one. And so, as much as I didn't want to choose one, I chose, psychology, cognitive science, that range. I mean, pretty much just psychology because that's a lot easier when you're applying to multiple schools because not a lot of schools have cognitive science as a major. So I applied to, again, all local schools because I will be commuting from home. I applied to UC Davis, UC Berkeley, SF State, Sonoma State, and CSU East Bay. And it soon became pretty evident that commuting to either UC Davis or CSU East Bay was just not going to be a good fit. It's just way too far to get all the way out there by public transit. SF State is the easiest to get there. Berkeley's a little bit harder. And Sonoma State is also significantly harder, but not impossible. So I toured SF State and Sonoma State, and I have to say I liked and I really still like SF State a lot better. They have great disability services. They have great academics. They have all kinds of student clubs. And the cool thing is that they allow you to create your own major, which me having a lot of interdisciplinary interests, I want to do. However, I'm still waiting to hear from Berkeley. I might do like a live reaction to when I hear back from them, which will be in exactly a month. I'll technically hear back from UC Davis as well. Again, I'm probably not going there. But yeah, Berkeley would obviously be my first choice, and that's particularly because they have a program specifically for students with autism, not just a support group, but a whole program. So, but that's a long shot. Right now, I'm just focused on SF State. And the tricky thing about the DOR is that they will fund your bachelor's degree, right? But even though I'm trying to become a BCBA, which requires a master's degree, they said, oh, well, we might fund your master's degree on a case-by-case basis, but you have to keep a 4.0 in your academics. Now, I'm a very academic person, and I've always kept up good grades, but a perfect 4.0 is not realistic, even for me. So I have to consider some things with that and make a few sacrifices. Um, One thing is SF State also has one of their accelerated bachelor's plus master's programs. It would be more likely that the DOR would fund that um, because it's all in one program. So that's something to consider because they have one of that for psychology. It's called SF State Scholars. So that's kind of where I am in my academic journey. I'm waiting to hear back from which school to transfer to. I'm probably going to be going to SF State. Fingers crossed. Maybe I'll get into Berkeley. Um, yeah, and I definitely will inform you with updates. And hopefully next semester I'll talk a little bit about how life is actually going to four-year college and what my aspirations are moving forward.